This afternoon, masked ICE agents arrested Brad Lander, an elected New York City official and candidate for mayor. It happened at a federal courthouse where Lander's campaign says he was advocating for defendants in immigration court. Now, DHS claims Lander assaulted an officer. Lander has since been released and no charges have been filed yet. This just comes 5 days after Senator Alex Padilla was forcibly removed from a DHS press event and handcuffed. Today, Senator Padilla was on the Senate floor and he was fighting back.
Now, throughout this country's history, we've had conflict, we've had tumult, but we've never had a tyrant as a commander-in-chief. And that is not by coincidence. It's because the American people have always been willing to speak up and exercise their First Amendment right to protest, especially when our fundamental rights have been threatened.
This is becoming a pattern. In May, federal agents arrested Newark Mayor Ras Baraka outside an ICE detention facility. New Jersey Congresswoman LaMonica McIver was caught up in that scuffle and now faces federal charges. When it comes to use of force, The Atlantic's Adam Serwer argues Trump is failing the, quote, tyrant test. And Senator Alex Padilla of California is with us now.
Welcome, Senator. Really appreciated your speech today. And for a whole host of reasons that go to the core of what Simone laid out at the beginning here, and that is the pattern, right, that is emerging. My mama taught me when I was a boy, call the thing it is, and you did. So we're clear, you did. Right. And everybody's got their hair on fire like they typically do in Washington. But the fact is you called the president what he is because of his behavior. You also noted in your speech it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat or an independent. We all have a responsibility to speak up and to push back before it's too late. So I'm going to ask you, sir, after your speech, what did my Republicans, members of my party, say to you?
Look, there's at least some reason for hope here. Had a lot of my Democratic colleagues there, but there wasn't zero Republicans there. There wasn't just one or two. There was a good,
smattering,
small handful, but at least there was some.
Right.
Right. So to me, and I got a couple of messages from others that returning from a Codell or whatever. So there seems to be at least a little bit of an opening. Privately, not quite publicly yet, except for somebody like a Senator Murkowski, and I appreciate her remarks over the course of last weekend. There's got to be a change. I mean, we can talk California. If we want to talk California, we can talk immigrant rights and immigration policy. This is so much bigger than just that, right? You have a president that's out of control, constantly overreaching beyond just testing the boundaries of his power, and you have a co-equal branch of government right now with Republicans in the majority that are not doing their job of check, of balance, of oversight and accountability. And so whether it's immigrants' rights, whether it's reproductive rights, whether it's belief in climate change is real or not, there's so much that this administration is undoing that needs to be reined in.
Senator, Senate Democrats are asking Secretary Noem to testify about DHS enforcement and actions. What kind of questions would you have for Secretary Noem?
Oh, well, the list is long. And that was, my point in attending the press conference last week, because, the secretary, the department has been pretty non-responsive as they've testified in front of various committees throughout the course of the last 5 months. We've submitted the formal inquiries, the letters, as you're supposed to do, with questions and requests for information that have, again, been largely non-responded to. So when I had the opportunity, and you can't make this up, I happened to be in the same federal building, on the same floor, in the same wing, just literally a couple of doors down from the secretary when she was doing her press conference, when I asked, because, secure federal buildings, I had an FBI agent and a National Guard person escorting me. I couldn't go anywhere on my own. If I could go listen in, they escorted me over there, opened the door for me, and after some political rhetoric, and we can get into that if you like, but I had the audacity to ask a question, because if the Trump administration was strictly and only going after the dangerous, violent criminals that they talk so much about, there would be no debate. There would be no discussion. But what they're doing is far from just that. And now we have data. More than 90% of folks taken into ICE custody since October have no criminal conviction on their record. They may be undocumented, but you know who they are? They're hardworking cooks and day laborers, car wash employees, farm workers, et cetera. A lot of the same people that the Trump administration designated as essential workers in his first administration when the COVID-19 pandemic broke out. And now they're the target of immigration enforcement. That's not what the people signed up for.